So, noch einmal. Recording in progress. Willkommen allerseits. Heute was ganz Spezielles. Und zwar der Vasili von getaway.fm. Ich muss mal beim Deutsch bleiben. Warum ist er heute hier? Insider-Information, technische Information, was eine Blockchain braucht, um technisch weltweit zu funktionieren. And to repeat it in English, it is about how it is called here, infrastructure for getaway. I mean, it is the infrastructure for blockchain. What do you need to run a system? And it's a very important topic in our business, in our space. Why? Especially some guys popping up and saying, we can do the next rocket science blockchain. It will run faster than light and will work everywhere. But if you look at the team, if you look at the budget, you can, after these AMA, hopefully understand that is not easy way to go. So thank you very much, Vasily, that you take your time and talk with us about all these topics. Thank you very much. Let's go.
Thank you for having me. And I hope you can see my screen and you can hear me loud and clear. That's good. So this presentation, I want to structure in like a simple, very simple way, so that I would like to, in a way that I would like to be taught when I just joined the company about the infrastructure, about the product that are available in the blockchain infrastructure world. And yeah, so I'll try to put it like in simple words, just for everybody to understand what's going on there, what the pain points that we're trying to solve, and where industry is going. And hopefully you will get some insights, and it can help you in the future to relate the projects and to get better understanding about the cryptocurrency and the blockchain world. So I'm going to start like very briefly about like introduction of myself. My name is Vasil. I'm heading the business development Gateway. Also, I run non-profit organization Alumni in Norway. We help students, like at least we used to help students to get some scholarship. We co-sponsor some programs and so on. And also in my spare time, I do cryptocurrency trading. It's high frequency trading. We run bots and we do different, execute different trading strategies. Previously, I used to work in Opera Software. This is the browser company. I was heading the mobile gaming division that especially services that are related to like subscription services. So we had the service kind of like a Netflix, but for mobile games. So pay $1 and get like 1,000 games free of charge, like included into the subscription price. And before that, I used to work in PwC in tax and legal department. It was super boring, so I quit it and then started with mobile gaming. Feel free to interrupt me in any time if you have any questions related to the slides or just like wondering about the technology or anything. So I will try to cover basically 3 verticals. This is like 3 main pillars. What do we do in the blockchain industry? The first one is RPC infrastructure on private data centers. The second is staking. What is that? And like how to do that, what are the risks, and how much money you can make. And the third one is like a very hot topic right now. This is where like everybody's bullish about. This is basically roll up as a service. This is like private blockchain based on zero knowledge technology. I think the third one might be the most interesting for you, but let me start from the beginning. So I want to start with a little bit about the history of the company. Our team came from Opera Software, the browser. Back in 2017-18, the team was developing crypto browser. And back at that day, blockchain infrastructure was really very bad. It was slow, it was not reliable, it was just a couple of providers who could provide the service. And this is how the idea of Gateway, the infrastructure company, was born. This idea was presented to the management. Management, at that point of time, it was Chinese management. They didn't really like it. So the team decided to kind of like left high-paid jobs in Opera and establish the company. So in 2021, the Gateway was born. as like a pure infrastructure company. It's like started with RPC Infrastructure on private data centers. I will talk about it in the next slides. Then during that time, it was a bull market, right? So the cryptocurrency was like on top. It was a lot of money to get from VC and funds. So, but once we started, the bull market started as well. So we probably had the worst possible time to introduce the project to the market, because the idea that we had was, okay, we can do like a very good infrastructure, kind of for enterprise level, the clients, very reliable, but also very costly, right? Because we thought, like at least what we saw before, that the companies, like potential customers, they didn't really care about the money they need to pay for the infrastructure. They only cared about the reliability of this infrastructure. But when we started, the market changed, and we had to adapt to the new market realities. So we introduced the new service, staking, and after that, we closed the seed round of $4.6 million. As you can see, there's like a screenshot here, but you can find more information in the internet. And recently, last week, we introduced the new service, Roll-up as a service. So this is the platform that allows you to deploy your own private blockchain in basically 3 clicks and under 10 minutes, which is very exciting. And everything was done during the bear market. And as you can see, we are surviving, doing quite good, and extending our product portfolio. Let me go a little bit deeper into the technical details. What is RPC infrastructure? Why it is important, and why do you actually need it? So RPC abbreviation stands for Remote Procedure Call. Basically, if you think about blockchain as a big database, right? Think about it as a Excel file, right? Where you have like different books and like spreadsheets there with transactions, right? So if you have this kind of like a big Excel file with like all of the data recorded there, and you want to read data from this Excel file or write data there, you need somehow to be able to open the spreadsheet, right, and to see this data. So that's why you need basically the computer, right, where you can, like PC, where you can open the Excel file. So
just to interrupt you, a question: is this the moment where I'm going online and trying to connect my MetaMask to some ever EVM, and it's just bumming all the time, making like this. That means they have not enough servers at this moment.
Yeah,
I can take the information from the Excel table. I can take the data from the database.
Yeah, so this is basically what happens. The MetaMask communicate with the RPC infrastructure provider like us, and then we send the request to the network of nodes of these computers and trying to get the information for you, right? Either like transaction or your NFT. Then we gather this information for the blockchain, send it back to the MetaMask, and then in the MetaMask you see that, okay, this is like the information that you needed.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So yeah, in the network, in the blockchain, you have like millions and millions of computers, and they all kind of like decentralized in different parts of the world, and they all have the whole history of the blockchain. Like basically every this PC, like we call it nodes, they store the information about blockchain. So once you send a transaction or any information to one PC, it's kind of automatically populate this information to other nodes, and they're in their they also do kind of like the same, and then in just like a couple of minutes, like all of the networks, they have the information about your transaction, about like the change that happened to the blockchain. And this is the beauty of the technology, because if you wanna kind of like change something you have to be able to do that basically for all of the computers in the network, or at least like 51% of the computers of the network. So that's why we call blockchain is basically immutable, because once it's recorded there, nobody can change it. Like without like tracing that it was changed. I hope I explained it in the simple terms, and it's understandable. So yeah, basically, if you want to do anything with the blockchain, either write or read the data, you need to have this PC connected to the network, to node or server. And to run your own server is technically difficult, even though you can probably like do it on your home PC. But it's not easy task, right? And even if you do that, right, and you can probably do all of the things with your MetaMask, but let's say you have a business, you have some decentralized application, or like you have your own wallet, or you have decentralized exchange where you have like a lot of traffic, not like 1 request per second, 2 requests per second, maybe you have like 10,000 requests per second. Of course, your like home PC would be enough to deal with this amount of traffic, and you need like more and more servers. And now it's like totally different ball game, and it's way harder to do it, even for established company, not for you as an individual. So to basically to connect to this network, you need to have a node, right? You need to have a node, or you can use third-party services like our company to so we can provide a connection for you. Basically, there are 2 types of nodes. They have like the 2 most popular type of nodes that do different stuff. So the first one is archival node, and another one is non-archival node. And this is the traffic that we sell to the user. We sell either non-archival traffic or archival traffic. What are the differences?
Where's the difference between these traffics?
Yeah, so the archival nodes, it's basically the server that stores all of the information of the blockchain, like the full information from the block 0, like Genesis block, to the latest block.
Okay.
Like all the transactions there. You can send the request and get the transaction like 3 years, like in 3 years or in 5 years.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, and of course, to have this machine running on your like home PC, it's quite a heavy task, because as you can see, this is like a minimum hardware requirements, and they're quite heavy, right? Like 4 cores CPU, like 16 RAM, or quite a lot of storage, like 13 terabytes of storage for different clients. This type of traffic, it's very specific, and for just like very specific type of clients, right? But it's like very, very hard to manage, and usually nobody do this kind of nodes themselves. They usually buy the traffic from companies like us. Another type of nodes is non-archival nodes. It's basically the same node as archival, but it stores the data for like latest 128 blocks, right? So we call it a prune node. So you don't have like all of the transactions that happened like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. You just have the latest state of the blockchain. And yeah, most of the customers, they use this type of traffic. For example, if you want to send a transaction to the blockchain, right, or to execute smart contracts, you don't need the archival node. You just need to send it to the latest block. And this is and you can do that with like non-archival node. Yeah, and obviously archival traffic costs probably like 5 times more than non-archival traffic. So another question. When we started our business, it was a big centralization of the blockchain infrastructure. Even though in the blockchain we like to talk about decentralization, but it's not entirely correct, because if you go a little bit deeper on the infrastructure level and take a look where those nodes are hosted, then you will see the picture that the majority of the nodes, those like servers, they're on the public data centers from Amazon, for example, or from Google or from Microsoft, right? And all of these companies, they're in US in one jurisdiction. And if you take a look at the map, so majority of the nodes, they're located in US. And this creates a big problem. This creates one single point of failure. Because if something happens to Amazon, as you can see here on the graph, a lot of blockchain industry will struggle. And it happened actually to MetaMask a couple of times because they host all of their infrastructure on Amazon. Also, another risk that possibly can occur.
That means if Amazon go down, a lot of blockchains go down as well.
Exactly. And like, it's so stupid, right? Because we developed the technology, basically blockchain. It's supposed to be decentralized. Like, if me as like a individual who run the node and something happened to my node, it won't affect the network. But if something happened to Amazon, even though it's decentralized, it will affect the network. And yeah. So as you can see, like top 10 providers, they basically they have like 60% of the whole blockchain infrastructure, like of Ethereum. And Ethereum is basically #1 blockchain to execute smart contracts and to build decentralized application, DeFi protocols, everything is built on top of Ethereum. We solved this problem like 2.5 years ago, and we found a solution that just to facilitate the decentralization, what we did, we developed our own software stack, which is fully portable, that could be deployed on the private data centers. Kind of like a small companies, they have a couple of servers in different countries, different cities, and we can deploy our nodes in those like small individual data centers. What it gives to us? It gives us the decentralization in terms of the countries and regions. And also, we are not connected to one specific company or
just to precise this fact. You developed a software which enabling companies to build and own cloud servers. I just renting my server over the world and connecting them with your software to run my own cloud service.
We developed the software for ourselves to be able to deploy those.
Okay. Like you don't sell this software.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a secret sauce how we came to the market and what was the kind of like unique selling proposition for our customers. Kind of like,
okay, got it.
Because like, you know, in the infrastructure business, if you have let's say some decentralized exchange and majority of your clients in Europe, so to decrease the latency, right, you want your data centers also to be in Europe.
Yes,
right?
yes. It's like in gaming. It's like in gaming. I mean, if I'm playing my MMO, I'm playing on European servers and not in States or Asia servers.
Exactly. And so you want it to be as close as possible. And but like Amazon, for example, or Google, they don't have like servers, for example, in in Nigeria or in Vietnam. But your customers might be there, and they would suffer from like a big latency. And like with our solution, we theoretically can deploy the infrastructure in Vietnam or in Nigeria, in the country where a user comes from. Okay. So that was kind of like the secret sauce, and it also had the decentralization, remove the single point of failure, and another very important aspect that you might also heard that there are a lot of regulatory uncertainty going on right now, especially in US, right? And just like imagine what will happen to the blockchain industry in one point of time, if in one point of time you ask them and say like, okay, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, you cannot deal with the blockchain industry anymore. You cannot support like crypto services, and they shut down the infrastructure for us. Then the whole blockchain industry will suffer. And our main goal is to make sure it won't happen, because if Amazon go down, we won't, because we don't use Amazon, and we have infrastructure all around the world on the private data center. Yeah. So this is basically what we built, and now the question is, who are the customers, and why do they need us compared to the other providers? So I would probably divide RPC infrastructure customers by like 3 groups. The first one is blockchains. For example, we provide the infrastructure for Gnosis chain, for Luxo. This is Germany-based companies, actually both of them based companies, and for Polygon, for Stellar, for Ethereum, and a lot of different chains. So the business there is basically all of those chains, they pay us money to deploy blockchain infrastructure for their community and for their ecosystem. So we got money from, for example, from Gnosis. We deployed a couple of nodes, those like computers, to execute the transaction and to send it to the blockchain. And we provide some services for free for builders on Gnosis ecosystem, on Polygon ecosystem, on Ethereum ecosystem. So they basically subsidize the infrastructure for the small developers to go to the ecosystem and try to build something, right, on top of Gnosis, on top of Polygon. So without like worrying about the reliable infrastructure, or without running their own node, or like looking for other providers. So you go to the documentation, you have the URL that you can copy and paste into your code, and then you can send the transaction to the blockchain or read the information from the blockchain, which like simplifies the flow and makes the user experience way smoother, like from developers' point of view. So we've done it for a couple of blockchains, and we open it for free, so you can go there and you can build. Then if you like grow bigger, right, your product are getting more traction, more users, and you have more transactions and requests to the blockchain, you might get like out of the free limits, right? Once you do that, then of course you need to pay, and we charge user either per request or per dedicated node. So we kind of like we do the setup for you, give you the key and the URL, and then you can like use those nodes without worrying about the hosting, maintenance, updating, worrying that the node is up and running 100% of the time, and stuff like that. So yeah. Next type of customers, at least like in our case, is decentralized exchanges, centralized exchanges, and wallets. So those like kind of big fishes that I'm trying to catch. One of the most known probably customer is 1inch. So this is decentralized aggregator. They have like a huge traffic, and we've been serving traffic for a couple of blockchains for them. And this is a huge organization, and they have the capacity probably to run it by themselves, but to keep like a big cluster of nodes, like with the infrastructure up and running, it's quite a hard job to do, and you need the full team of engineers to work on it and to make sure everything is up and running. So even for big guys, it's cheaper and more time and money efficient to go to the third-party services like us and to pay us money. So we're gonna host nodes for them, or we and provide the support and stuff like that. And yeah, and like third type of clients, it's all sorts of DeFi protocols, some Web2 companies like Opera. We developed quite a unique solution for their browser related to crypto. or GiveWith, which is a nice company. They do a lot of social goods, kind of like collect money and try to fight global warming, or do some charity stuff. Yeah, so that's basically finish of the first kind of like a section of what we do in terms of the RPC infrastructure. And yeah, I hope it gave you some a little bit, at least a little bit of understanding why it's important and why nobody wants to deal with the infrastructure and rather buy the company, the services from the guys like we. Okay, the next pillar is staking. So this was kind of like for us the natural next step in the infrastructure business, because what is staking? Staking is only possible for the proof of stake networks, right? Where you have this consensus algorithm when you have to kind of like stake some tokens, and those tokens, they basically collateral. And if you do something wrong in the network, then you get slashed. You basically lose your money and your tokens. So this is the way to secure network, because you have those, as we just discussed, you have nodes, right, that can read and write data in the blockchain. Also, on top of that, you have validators that validate all of the transactions. Let's say you send me $5. So what validator does is basically check if you really have these $5. And after I receive $5, it checks like, okay, I really received these $5, and it's like properly displayed in my account, basically. And so the consensus algorithm of like proof of stake is basically ensure that the validators do the work correctly, and if they do that, then they get an incentive. They get the part of the fee that they validated. So you get a little bit of revenue from every transaction that was validated by you. And if you do something wrong, you lose your money. So you can think about staking as an alternative to, not equivalent of putting your money on the saving account in the bank. Right, so you put like $1,000, then the bank use this money to either provide a loan to somebody else to take the interest rate and then kind of pay you your interest rate, or invest this money in other sectors and get the return. So basically the same here. You stake your tokens, right? You run the validator. This is the server that do the job of validating transactions. It's also like basically computer that do the computing job of validating the transactions, and and you get your money. So right now, if I'm not mistaken, the return of staking is around like 4.5 or like 4% per year in Ethereum. And Ethereum is like deflationary asset, so theoretically it should increase over time. So this kind of like a business is quite popular, and you can see like hundreds and hundreds of companies in the blockchain doing staking and kind of like sharing the revenue with the customers. And there are a lot of how do you call it, like solo stakers, for example, like you and me. We can run validator at home, put our Ethereum as a stake on the validator, and validate the transaction and receive the money. But because it's also quite technically hard to set up the validator and to start validating transactions, it's not a trivial job. And if you do it like incorrectly, you have a risk to get slashed. And to do staking, for example, in Ethereum, you have to have like 32 ETH, which is in today's money, it's around $51,000. So if you do something wrong, you have a lot of money to lose, and you want to make sure that the technical setup is correct, right? And this is what we provide to our clients. We do the technical work for them, right? We don't hold their like tokens, their stake, right? We cannot like withdraw money, we cannot do anything. So we just like provide a technical setup, like validator node or 10 validators node, whatever you need. And we use your wallet to kind of to sign the first transaction, and then like all of the rewards from validation will go to your wallet, and we have the smart contracts to do the revenue share. So if you do our...
Do you do this only for ETH or other blockchain as well? Which blockchains do you support?
Yeah, for other blockchain as well. So far we have 3. We have ETH, we have Gnosis, and we have IXO. It's like very, very small token.
Okay.
And also we work with the liquid staking providers like Stakewise, and lately we became official node operator for Lido. I think one of the biggest staking companies or staking services in the blockchain.
Thank you.
So yeah, so here we have, as you can see, like it's a very natural step in terms of the infrastructure, right? So we started with a pure RPC infrastructure, then we moved to staking. So we do the technical work to also basically on an infrastructure level, and then we help our customers to optimize the yield that they get, and to get as much revenue as possible. And we have, in this case, we have skin in the game, right? Because we have the revenue share model based on the rewards. So the more rewards we manage to get, the higher our revenue would be, and the higher revenue of the customer would be. So we have the pure incentive to make sure everything is optimized as much as possible, and yeah, because like we're gonna earn more. So yeah, that's kind of like the second pillar of the business. And yeah, you probably heard of hundreds of companies doing the same thing here. Yeah, this is a little bit about the diagram, how it works. So we have your like stake tokens, right? That it's like as a collateral. So if you want to do something bad in the network, double-sided transaction or validated transactions that are that you should not validate, or to push fraudulent transactions, you can get slashed. Yeah, so you have your stake, you participate in consensus algorithm, and do the validations, and then you receive part of your, like, the small share of the fees that user pay to get the transaction executed as your reward or revenue. So sounds simple and beautiful, because it's protect the network from being attacked. Because if you want to attack Ethereum network, then every time you do that, you lose like $50,000, and to attack the network, you need to validate at least like 51% of the you need to have at least like 51% of the network, which is quite a lot of money, and I don't think like anybody can do that, at least in the near future. Yep. And yeah, basically the rest, the last vertical, it's I think might be the most interesting for you, because it's like a very new tech. We were the first one to, we're still the first one to deploy it, and to automate things, so you can like deploy your blockchain in 10 minutes. So I think it might be interesting for you as kind of like investors and crypto enthusiasts. So we call the platform Presto. It's yeah, it's a platform that allows you to deploy your private rollups. And when I say rollup, you can think about that as a kind of like a small blockchain that you can customize per your own needs. Yeah. So what do we do here? We partner with Polygon, and they have Polygon right now, they have basically two like separate blockchains. They have Polygon proof of stake, just like regular one, and they have zkEVM, this zero knowledge Ethereum compatible blockchain. And what we've done here, we use the technology from Polygon zkEVM and basically make a small copy of zkEVM based on the technology from Polygon, and we deploy it for the users. So you have the security from layer one, from like basically Ethereum, and you have the scalability from layer two, basically Polygon, and everything is like fast, scalable, decentralized, and easy to set up. So what are the benefits here? Just imagine that you have a game, for example, you have a blockchain game, right? And you have coins there and you want to buy a gun, right? And the coins, it's like NFT tokens, and the gun is also NFT, and you want to have everything on the blockchain, so you can withdraw your asset from the game, go to the marketplace, you can sell it, or you can hold it on your wallet. So if something goes wrong with the server of the game or with the game itself, you still own those assets, and you have kind of confirmation, yes, this is like your digital asset. To do so, you need a basic blockchain. So you can do it on Ethereum, but everybody's using Ethereum, and the gas prices just to pay for the transaction are quite high. And if you want to kind of like buy the gun for the coin in the game, you will end up paying like $20 as a gas fee for the transaction. So it's not really suitable for the blockchains. What you can do there, you can move to layer 2 solutions like Polygon or Optimism or Arbitrum. There you have way cheaper prices, you have faster transactions, and you can theoretically do there. But there is a problem. For example, if some like big player decided to kind of to mint a lot of NFTs, or the big player started to send like a lot of transactions on those, even on layer 2 blockchains, the gas prices there might go up, right? And you will end up paying like a little bit more than usual. Or another possible scenario would be that like Arbitrum and Optimism, they use they basically optimistic rollups, and they don't have the same security as zero knowledge rollup, right? And to withdraw money from these optimistic rollups is going to take you some time. Like sometimes it's like up to 1 week. But with the technology from Polygon, with this zero knowledge, you can do that in just like 1 hour or maybe in a couple of minutes, depending on what setup you have. So this is like another benefit, basically security and speed. And the third one, I think the most important one, is the customization. Because what we do for our customers, we create their own private rollups, and we can customize it. We can make it permission or permissionless, right? So for example, you can show the transaction to everybody, but you can only allow to write some transactions for some certain players, right? Which is quite cool. You can add third-party tooling on top. You can add the block explorer that you want to. You can add indexers. You can add KYC tooling. You can add all sorts of stuff. You can make it fast. You can make it slow. You can make it cheap. You can make it expensive, or you can deploy the token on this on your own blockchain, and you can use the fee that users pay in your blockchain as and like distribute it within the community as a revenue, right, as an incentive mechanism. So you're kind of like very flexible, because you're the king here. You use the technology from Polygon, and you have your small blockchain in basically in 10 minutes. So we automate things very heavily, and yeah, right now you can literally go to our website, do the 3 clicks, and you will have your own blockchain in 10 minutes after we deploy all of the smart contracts and do the infrastructure work. Yeah, which is super cool. In terms of the, oh yeah, and here you can see like you can add like third-party tooling like wallets. For example, wallet. Just imagine that you built something on a private blockchain, let's say like a loyalty program, and you want to have your loyalty points to store somewhere. So you just like click on the wallet, you upload your logo, you change the colors, and then you have your wallet on your own blockchain with like loyalty program points where you can have the NFTs, and those like NFTs can be transferred to another blockchain and can be sold on the NFT marketplaces, or your points they can be used as a, I don't know, as a money, or you can trade them on different exchanges. So it opens like a lot of possibilities, and like yeah, and we just started. This is a new technology, and literally just a couple of weeks ago, Polygon finished their
to be a little bit rude, it's
yeah.
some kind, it's like these token generators, but for blockchain. Sorry for this. I mean, it's easy to go. I mean, it's easy to go. It's in configurator. I clicking what I want, what I need, and saying, okay, deploy me an EVM based blockchain.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But like you need some use case, right? So you need to
yeah, sure, but I mean technical. I mean everything need a use case. I mean if I'm using a token generator, it doesn't mean that I have a use case for the token.
Fair
you know
enough.
what I mean? I mean the same we have here. I mean, if a bigger company want to have some kind of a testnet, want to have some coming in touch with blockchain, with EVMs, they can use this service just to make the first steps without all this huge payment needed you on Polygon or whatever, just to collecting the experience.
I'm impressed that you actually thought about that, because this is this idea took us like a long time to kind of to process, to understand that this might be like a very good solution for like a big companies, right? To kind of propose them to adopt the blockchain, right? As
yeah, if for example you go to a bigger company, I don't know, some guys with 200, 300 developers, doesn't matter, here in Germany, and you say them, okay, use blockchain. And what do they know about blockchain? Is pumping and dumping, it's rugging and scamming. How can I sell this stack? How can I use this stack for my customers? And you're offering some kind of a safe space to use technology, to make experience with it, to think about it, what kind of services and tools people can develop with it, without all these risks from open market like rugs and scams and prices and whatever. It's good. I like it.
100%. And this is exactly the use cases that we are hoping for, because so far we got like two big projects built on top of that. The first one is Gnosis Pay. This is Visa card connected to non-custodial wallet. So you can use your crypto and pay in convenience store for Coca-Cola, or I don't know, for bread, whatever. And this is a very cool use case. And basically why they decided to go with a private rollup, and basically we build it for them. First of all, because you can make the transaction private, right? So you can show this transaction to everybody. Everybody can check like, okay, they're legit, right? But you cannot write the transactions there. So only Visa can do that, Wallet can do that, and Gnosis itself can do that. Only like 3 participants. The second is security. Because it's zero-knowledge technology, it's mathematically impossible to push the fraudulent transaction to layer 1. It won't be validated by the validators that I talk in the second like kind of a part of the presentation. So you can be sure that even though it's not decentralized because you control your own blockchain, but because of this technology, it's basically impossible to cheat, which is super cool. Then you can have like very, very low latency, right? Because you are the only one on the blockchain, and you don't need to wait for somebody else to execute their transactions, or you don't need to pay extra gas fee if some like big player decided to do something with the blockchain. you have basically infinite scalability. For example, here I mentioned like 1,000 TPS. This is like a maximum that can be done on private blockchain. Just to compare this number to Visa, Visa currently have 1.7 thousand. Like this is the Visa, right? The global company. And on your private blockchain, you can have number which is comparable to Visa. Because it's your blockchain, you can make gasless transactions. So you don't need to pay any fee like inside this small blockchain, which is also beneficial for the user. So the speed, security, and scalability is basically like three pillars why these private blockchains might be the future. So yeah, and why they cannot deploy, for example, on layer 1 or Gnosis or Ethereum.
As a next step, you need an auto bridge to bridge all the assets from the different chains.
Exactly. For that, we deploy automatically the default bridge from Polygon. So you can do that, but yeah, it's breaks the user experience, right? So if you want to bridge the transaction, so you have to go to the bridge and like take your money from one chain to another. But it's very fast, right? So because it's like zk, so basically it's going to take you up to 1 hour to do that, but you can do it even faster. And yeah, in this case, you don't pay per transaction. You just pay for the infrastructure to keep this blockchain up and running. Let's say like $5,000 per month, right? To have a couple of nodes, sequencer, prover, load balancer, proxy, and then we kind of deploy everything for you. You have this infrastructure, and then you build the product on top of it, and you don't worry about the infrastructure. You just work on the product itself. Yeah. Yeah, another example was Palm NFT Studio. So they did immigration from their own blockchain that they built to the private blockchain from us, because the maintenance cost was crazy and it was slow, and they just don't want to deal with it anymore. So and they have their own token. They got better security. We can like customize it for them, so they can already have the use case, and we adapt this use case for the blockchain, and they have the perfect solution for their needs.
How much does it cost?
The prices for the testnet starts from $300 per month.
Do you have some free versions, like for 1 week or something like that?
Yeah, it's right now it's free for everybody. So it's just like we launched it like recently. So we want to showcase like what you can do there. So we can deploy your private rollup and deploy the smart contracts there. And so you can go to the website and do
I have a very good idea for TikTok. Create your own blockchain.
It is like, and this is not an ordinary blockchain. It's zkEVM, so zero knowledge.
Yes.
Hype right now.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun. It's a different way to think. It's not decentralized. It's not about building a blockchain as a decentralized service for users. It is about using blockchain as utility inside a company or for company or whatever. I mean, sometimes it is very important to have everything under control, and big companies need the control. They can't go to something, to be honest, Polygon, it's not really decentralized, and I can't run my big company structure on this chain. You know what I mean? It is like to run all the nodes on Amazon. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some people want to have the full control over what they're doing, and it is the way to go.
Yeah, it is the way to go. And the beauty of it, that if something goes wrong with your private blockchain, the settlement of the transactions that you do there are happening to the layer 1, to Ethereum.
Yeah.
So let's say that you created your blockchain, right? And you have the payment solution, right? And I have my money on your blockchain, and at one point of time you decided to shut down like all the servers. It doesn't mean that I lose my money. because the settlement of the transaction happens to the Ethereum, so I can theoretically go there and kind of to submit the proof and breach my money back, because it's like zero knowledge technology. So it's like a beauty of it. So even though like you're in full control, but like theoretically you can like get your money back from this private rollup, and this is super cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and one like couple of use cases that, for example, Starbucks, they have loyalty program based on like Polygon, but can be easily deployed on the private rollup, and to do kind of like a cheaper, faster, and they could do all sorts of different stuff there.
Looks like you are pretty in touch with Matic, with Polygon.
Yes, a little bit.
A little bit. Polygon here, Polygon there.
Yeah, because they were the first one to do that, actually. Like, I mean, like this zkEVM, they were the first one to went live with zkEVM chain, and they were the first one to be ready with this technology that we are using to build private rollups. But we're gonna add like more partners as more blockchains as they're ready. We are in discussion with zkSync, Tyco, Scroll, and a couple of others.
Interesting.
Yeah, and another kind of like use case, I think it might be interesting. Just like imagine that the second-hand car market, right? When you buy the car, you can be like 100% certain that the mileage on the odometer is the correct one, and like somebody didn't trick you, or the car was not in an accident. Just like imagine if you can like put all of this information about the car on the blockchain, and like the information from insurance companies, from the dealers.
But that's what you're talking about. That is the big idea behind some use cases of blockchains. But companies like Daimler or the Volkswagen or whatever, they will never ever use a public blockchain, because it is not possible to trust someone else who control this network. They must have the control about it. And that's this example you talked about. If if a car company is starting doing things like this, they need a private chain fully on their own control. That's why it's interesting. It is interesting.
Yeah, and like it's so many things that you can do, and like this like private blockchains, they just started, right? So everybody's like super bullish about, like I've heard like a lot of VCs are looking for the companies to invest who are doing this kind of stuff.
Yes. Theoretically, you need an own token. You need an own token where people have to use this token to activate all these services.
You're
If
good.
you make some kind of Presto, let me know.
You know, like we never had a token because we didn't have a utility for the token. But like with this platform, I mean, utility is there, but maybe in the future we will do the token as well.
Let me know. This is good. Yeah, funny. Yeah, basically that's it. And yeah, I'm very bullish on this zkEVM private rollup stuff, and because you can bring a lot of like Web2 companies to the blockchain by like providing this private blockchain, so they can do all sorts of stuff there, and it's so exciting. And yeah, I hope it's a right move in the right direction that will facilitate the crypto adoption. Yeah, and just to add, you can go to our website and create your own blockchain if you want to. I will definitely do it. Yeah. But it's a little bit tricky in Germany. It's a little bit tricky. Can I make a blockchain without tokens? Yeah. It's without token right now. Like if you want a token, it's kind of like we cannot do it automatically. Because why I'm asking, if I'm publishing a blockchain with an own token, I need a license for this in Germany. And if I'm doing a video about it, it's just a proof that I make a token, and it's not good. But if I'm making a blockchain without tokens, it's funny. You know what I mean? And I can't be harmed by the government.
By default, it's without token.
Nice, nice. It's cool. It's good.
We're gonna add it it's in our roadmap, and probably it's gonna come like towards the end of the year. So you'll be able to kind of like to either to do the template, kind of like okay, the token would do like I don't know, I want to charge the transaction fee in my own token, or I want to use token for this and this and this. So it's gonna be a couple.
Yeah, or the getaway token.
You know, you have a very sharp mind. Like, I mean, I'm really surprised that like just listening to presentation, you got all of this. So very cool.
It is a good presentation.
No,
really, I like it because a lot of people don't understand what it means to run a blockchain, and there are a lot of people out there saying, okay, the next blockchain. For example, a few days ago, some guys saying, we will the next big proof of work, blah 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 blah. It's not even worth to talk with these people if they don't have the cash to run all this infrastructure.
Yeah, I mean, the blockchain is nothing without the utility, right? And without the ecosystem that built on top of that blockchain. So yeah, and another name of these private blockchains, app chains, because they specifically built per application, per utility that you have.
But are you based on are you concentrating on these all EVM chains, or it is in future maybe it will be possible to get other chains? I mean, there are some different chains out there where you can make some kind of a bigger shop where people say, okay, I don't like EVM, I don't like Solidity, I like to have a private Radix chain, or I like to have a private Solana chain, or I have to private IOTA thing without buying it at IOTA.
Yeah,
what about these?
That's a good point, but like it's quite a hard yeah, it's quite hard not to crack. I mean, like we started with like EVM compatible, and we're gonna go
Polygon.
Yeah, with Polygon. Then we're gonna go to another zkEVM chains. Yeah, I hope we will be able to do that on some non-EVM chains. I don't know, maybe in future, but like for now, at least for the next half a year,
sure.
won't be possible.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tusen tak.
Tusen tak is from Norwegian. Thank you. Like thousands thank yous.
Yeah, 1000 Dank. In German, it sounds a little bit the same. 1000 Dank.
Yeah, Tusen tak.
Tusen tak. Okay, guys, before we finish, any question? Arthur, iPhone, Vadim, Easy, Solidi, iPhone. Any questions? Hello?
Well, it was a very technical presentation. I'm not very fit in this part of blockchain, but it was very interesting. The presentator was a very smooth and attractive speaking man. So
love is in the air.
Love is in the air. Yes. So it was very nice for me to hear the technical side of the blockchain to get more inside information about the running of the blockchain. So I'm very happy to be here and to get information, new information about this interesting part of the technology. but I have no question because it's not my part of the blockchain. It's too technical and not. I have not the knowledge, yeah, to get the right questions at this time. So I have no questions. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you so much, Vadim. Thank you. And it wasn't too boring. And yeah, but yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we have a comment, a text comment from Artcore. Very informative and well explained. Thank you very much. But right now, mind blow smiley.
Yeah, I mean, like when I joined the company, it took me like 2 months just to understand the details, and like I'm still there, I'm still learning, and so much going on. But yeah,
thank you, really, thank you very much. I mean, I will put it on YouTube. I will share this with some groups. I will post it in BGA, Blockchain Game Alliance group as well. Maybe this is the way for some game developers to use blockchain without going the risk on a public chain. Just make everything under own control. And if they wanna have this control, they just contact you, the getaway company, and say, okay, guys, we wanna use blockchain, but without all this public shit we know.
Again, very surprised because majority of our customers, or at least like potential customers, they're from blockchain games because there are a lot of value. So exactly the target audience. Yeah.
I will share it everywhere. It's very important. I mean, this knowledge, this special knowledge, understanding things, how they work, let us be good at this all crypto game. It is not about just buying and selling tokens or NFTs or whatever. It's not about just investing and hoping that it will become more. It is about to know what is the game, what the game is, and what is my risk. And this was very helpful for this game. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And yeah, if you have some, like, I don't know, interesting project that you need some comments or maybe some thoughts about, feel free to share. Would be happy to help. And thank you for letting me speak. And it took a little bit of time, but it was a pleasure to talking to you all.
Thank you. Okay, we'll finish this. Okay.